What if I told you that buying a home right now might be one of the worst wealth building decisions that you can make? And what if I told you that renting, yes, renting, could actually be your smartest financial play? I know. That goes against everything we've been taught. If you rent, you're throwing away money. Real estate only goes up. Owning a home, well, it's the American dream. But let's get real. In 2025, the math doesn't math. In today's episode of The Big Bo Show, I'm breaking down why the housing market feels upside down, what real homeownership costs look like today, and how a client of mine could generate $6.2 million by simply not buying. And in our Bone Nose segment, I'm bringing in Steph Curry and the 2016 NBA Finals to show you how patience, strategy, and staying cool under the pressure can lead to long-term wins on the court and in your wealth. Ready? Let's dive in.
Let's take a little flower and turn it into a tree. 'Cause we're harnessing the power that has been passed down centuries. Life in a game, fortune and fame. You're gonna win over time, you know. It's hard to attain, but you're on your way. You're listening to The Big Bo Show.
Brought to you by Julius Wealth Advisors.
All right, let's talk about the housing market because right now it's strange. It's frustrating and honestly, it's kind of frozen. You got people with great incomes, strong credit, solid down payments, and yet I see them blindly assuming home ownership is what they should be considering. They aren't asking, should I even buy a home right now? Am I making a huge mistake if I keep on renting? So in this segment, I want to break down exactly what's happening because this market isn't just off, it's upside down. So first, let's start with demand. In theory, demand should be booming right now. Unemployment is low, millennials, the largest generation in U.S. history, are hitting prime home buying age, and new households are forming every day. So why does it feel like nobody's moving? Because even though people want to buy homes, they can't make the math or the emotions work. And here's why. Mortgage rates are hovering around 7%. Not crazy by historical standards, but after a decade of 3% and 4% rates, it feels like sticker shock. Get this. The average monthly mortgage payment on a new home right now is nearly $3,000. That is nearly double since the COVID pandemic only 5 years ago. And that's before you factor in taxes, insurance, HOA fees, and all those other fun surprises that come with home ownership. The result? Affordability is collapsing. According to the Atlanta Fed's Home Index, the affordability gauge, a median household today would need to spend about 46% of their income to afford a median-priced home. For some context, from a planning perspective, the rule of thumb is to not spend more than 30% of your income on housing. And the last time we're at these levels was 2006, just prior to the housing crisis. That's not just tight, that's suffocating. But now let's flip the script. What's happening with supply? Well, here's what's really jammed up. More than 50% of existing mortgages are locked in at a rate under 4%. And nearly 40% of homeowners don't even have a mortgage at all. So guess what? Sellers aren't selling because why would you trade in your 3% mortgage for 7%? That's just paying more for a home that might not even be better. This creates what I call golden handcuff market. People are locked into amazing finances and they don't want to give that up. That's freezing the market. Buyers can't stomach the prices. Sellers won't walk away from their low rates. And agents, they just got fewer and fewer listings to work with. But here's the kicker. Even with all that, prices aren't falling. Why? Because we don't have enough homes. According to Freddie Mac, the U.S. is short by about 3.7 million housing units. Builders can't keep up. Permits take longer. Labor costs are high. And make things even worse, it can take about 8 months to build a single-family home. This isn't just about cost anymore. It's about time and risk. So what we've got is a scarcity standoff. And you know what happens in a standoff? Nobody moves. So you're feeling like the market is working against you. You're not crazy. You're not behind, and you're not alone. This isn't a you problem. It's a market mechanics problem, which brings me to a critical mindset shift. When the markets get this irrational, patience becomes a strategy. If you're thinking of buying a home right now, pause. Ask yourself, am I buying it because it makes financial sense or because I feel pressure to make a move? If you're renting and feeling FOMO, don't, because sometimes renting is the most strategic, flexible, and financially powerful play. And if you already own a home with a 3% mortgage, you, my friend, are sitting on one of the best risk-adjusted assets in your portfolio. Don't rush to trade that in. So what now? Well, here's the good news. Even in a market like this, you're not powerless. You may not be able to control mortgage rates or home prices, but you can control you and your game plan. In the next segment, we're going to talk about exactly how you do that. I'll walk you through a real case study of a client of mine, someone who could have bought a house for $6,800 a month, but chose to rent for $3,400 and invest the difference. We ran the numbers, and the result? Let's just say it's a 7-figure wealth move. So stick around. This is where things get real interesting.
Start building wealth by choice, not chance, with Julius Wealth Advisors. At Julius Wealth Advisors, your progress and your gains are our measure of success. Experience personal attention to every detail. We create strong financial plans, use time-tested investment strategies, and offer personal coaching to navigate life's inevitable turns. At Julius Wealth Advisors, we provide clients with a concierge experience in a boutique environment. Join us and let our experts guide you on a collaborative path to financial freedom with sound money management principles. Develop your tailored wealth playbook and help secure your financial future. Start strong with Julius Wealth Advisors. Visit juliuswealthadvisors.com or call 201-408-4644. Email info@juliuswealthadvisors.com. Julius Wealth Advisors, where building wealth is by choice, not chance.
All right, welcome back. So we've established the housing market is stuck in a weird limbo. Prices are high, rates are high, supply is tight. But here's the good news. You are not stuck, because even if the market's frozen, your wealth building plan doesn't have to be. In this next section, it's all about taking control in a high cost, low inventory market using a framework I walk through with clients all the time. It's not about fear, it's about facts. It's about playing offense with your financial life instead of reacting to what everyone else is doing. So let's break it down. Step 1, know your why. Start with this simple question. Why do I even want to buy a home? Is it emotional? Is it pressure from family or friends? Is it seeing someone post a picture of their new kitchen on Instagram and thinking, I should be doing that too? Or is it because you want long-term stability, a place to grow roots, raise a family, and you're planning to be there for 10 plus years? Look, there's nothing wrong with owning a home, but there is something wrong with owning it for the wrong reasons. Buying a home should be a strategic decision, not a reaction to social comparison or societal pressure. Don't chase validation, chase value. Step 2, run the numbers. Now let's talk real math. A recent client of mine had this scenario. Buy a new home, $6,800 a month. That includes mortgage, taxes, insurance, and maintenance. Renting a comparable place, $3,400 a month. That's a difference of $3,400 every single month. So we ran the numbers. If they chose to rent and invested that $3,400 a month difference at a 9% annual return over 30 years, $6.2 million. Let me say that again. $6.2 million. Even if they were more conservative, at a 7% return, $4.1 million. At 5%, still nearly $3 million. This is not skip a latte math. It's multi-generational wealth territory. And let's not forget other factors. Most homeowners today are locked into mortgage rates below 4%. If you sell your home and buy again in this market, you're likely trading that in for 7%, a decision that can wreck your long-term financial momentum. So ask yourself, is this house I'm chasing really worth giving up the deal I already have? Sometimes the best move isn't to upgrade your address, it's to upgrade your mindset. And now let's move on to step number 3. Evaluate the timing. Let's zoom out. Even if you can afford to buy, is now the right time? We're in a market where prices are elevated, rates are higher, inventory is tight, and migration patterns are still shaking out from the pandemic. In places like Miami and Tampa, we've already seen massive price run-ups. That's not where the wave is forming. That's where it's already crashed onto the beach. And if you're buying now, you may be buying at the peak of a local cycle, not the beginning. And ask yourself, am I buying ahead of the next wave or after it's already hit? An ideal time to buy is when you can get a good deal, lock in reasonable financing, and plan to stay for at least 7 to 10 years. If you can't check those boxes, it might be smart to sit tight and strengthen your position. Step 4, understand the true cost of home ownership. This is the part most people skip. Buying a home isn't just about the mortgage payment. It's about rising property taxes, surging insurance premiums, especially in coastal states like Florida and California, and ongoing maintenance and surprise repairs, HOA dues, landscaping, pest control, roof replacement, the list goes on and on. Owning a home isn't passive. It's like running your own small business called Your House Inc. And spoiler alert, that business doesn't always turn a profit unless you time the market perfectly or hold for a long period of time. If you're going to buy, you have to go in eyes wide open because the hidden costs will catch you slipping if you don't. And step 5, invest the difference. Now here's where renting starts to shine if you play it right. Let's go back to that $3,400 monthly gap between renting and buying. If you're renting and not investing that difference, you're missing the entire point. But if you automate it, if you set it and forget it into a diversified portfolio, that's where the real magic happens. It's not about avoiding ownership. It's about redirecting your dollars to build wealth more efficiently. Because sometimes the best investment isn't bricks and mortar. It's stocks and discipline. But you have to be intentional. So let's recap. Here's the full rent versus buy playbook. Know your why. Be honest about your motivations. Don't buy to flex. 2, run the numbers. Monthly cost to own versus rent. Run multiple return scenarios. 3, evaluate timing. Are you early in the market or buying after the hype? 4, understand ownership cost, taxes, insurance, maintenance. Don't underestimate them. And 5, invest the difference. Automate it. Let compounding do its job. So listen, if you're sitting in your apartment or current home thinking, am I missing out by not buying right now? You're not behind. You're not being reckless. You're being smart. Because building wealth isn't about keeping up with the Joneses. It's about playing your game with your numbers and your timeline. And when you do that, you often win in the long run. But stick with me, because up next in our Bo Knows segment, I'm bringing in a little Steph Curry, a finals meltdown, and the comeback that defined a destiny, and what it can teach you about mastering your wealth game under pressure. Let's go.
Get your money right. If you got the appetite. Get your money right. If you want to get another insight. When big was setting the score, but there's something that I want to tell you. Bo knows.
All right, it's that time. Welcome to Bo Knows, where we take real-life wealth lessons and bring them to life through sports, food, or whatever else brings the heat. And today, we're going courtside because it's the NBA final season. And if there's no better way to talk about wealth building under pressure than with a story about Steph Curry. So let's rewind to 2016. The Golden State Warriors were flying high. Fresh off a championship, 73-9 regular season, the best in NBA history, Steph wins unanimous MVP. They cruise to the finals, go 3-1 on the Cavaliers. They're basically a layup away from back-to-back titles. But then, LeBron James flips the script. Cleveland storms back. Game 7 happens, and the Warriors go down in one of the biggest collapses in finals history. Steph got dragged. Not clutch, overrated, can't carry a team. The media lost its mind. The haters came out. But here's what Steph didn't do. He didn't blow up the playbook. He didn't ditch his style. He didn't chase headlines or force a trade. So what did he do? He stayed calm. He trusted the process. He doubled down on what worked. And a year later, KD joins the squad. They win 3 more championships, and Steph becomes a finals MVP. And he secures his place as one of the greatest to ever do it. Now, let's bring this back to your financial life. Right now, this housing market, it feels like you're down 3-1 in Game 5. You're seeing other people buy. Your friends are flashing keys and closing gifts on social media. Headlines are screaming about rising prices, and don't miss out. And maybe you're sitting on the sidelines thinking, am I falling behind? Should I be doing something, anything, before I miss my shot? But here's the deal. If you panic buy or you change your strategy out of fear, you can wreck your wealth plan faster than the Warriors lost that 3-1 lead. Patience doesn't just sound good. It's often a winning play. So just like Steph didn't force the issue, you don't need to rush into the market just because everyone else is moving. Instead, keep building, keep stacking cash, keep investing the difference. Stay focused on the long game. Because when the timing is right, when the market shifts, you'll be ready to strike. Not out of desperation, but from a place of power. And that's championship level strategy. All right, team, so let's close this out. Here's what we covered today. The housing market is in gridlock. Prices are high. Rates are high. Supply is tight. Emotions are running hot. But you don't need to follow the crowd because pressure doesn't equal progress. If you're renting right now, you're not behind. You might actually be ahead as long as you're investing that difference. If you're considering buying, slow down. Run the numbers and make sure you're buying the right home for the right reasons at the right time. And if you're unsure, head on over to juliuswealthadvisors.com. Download our complimentary wealth building playbook. It's packed with tools and strategies to help you build wealth by choice, not chance. Or you can give us a call at 201-408-4644 or shoot us an email at info@juliuswealth.com. We'll walk you through your game plan and figure out the best next move together. All right, so next time, remember this. Wealth is built by choice, not chance. Renting isn't weakness, it's a weapon. And staying disciplined, just like Steph Curry, is how you build your dynasty. So I'll catch you next time on The Big Bo Show. Keep living a life of integrity, obtaining as much knowledge as possible, and always live a life that you're passionate about. Until next time, all the best.
Thank you for tuning into The Big Bo Show.
Let's take a little flower and turn it into a tree. 'Cause we're
Show. Brought to you by Julius Wealth Advisors.